Hello, everyone. This is Darcinovia, back once again with another stream. I have to apologize. I kind of screwed up when it came to scheduling this. I scheduled it on accident for 10 a.m. when I actually was going to do 10:30. Well, I started a little early because what the hell. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with what I'm doing, this is a new program that I'm doing on my channel where once a week I just talk about local issues, international issues, national issues. Though at the beginning of each segment, I talk about stuff that's in my home state because California is where I live, and it's a good idea to inform the people what's going on because someone someone has to do it. So hopefully I'm more prepared this time. Actually, I had a whole week to find some articles. Researching stuff is not easy, especially when there's so much information on the internet, so much stuff to find. So yeah, I'm going to talk about some political, when you're not political, you know what I mean, some local stuff because I think it's important that we talk about it because yeah, the people should know actually. Now I'm just going to wait for people to show up before I actually really start going to some articles because I don't want to repeat myself if someone asks me a question. So I'm just gonna do one last thing. The article in question that I have the tab open is something that concerns renters. So yeah, first I'm gonna start with Orange County because that's where I live, and I think I should bring up some things that are basically related to where I live. Now, where the site that I'm using is from Voice of OC, which is Orange County. So for those of you who are not familiar with Orange County, that's the newspaper over there. So the first one of these articles I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be about the police. Oh, yeah. Lovely. The Thugs in Blue. We're going to talk about them. The Thugs in Blue. What more can you say, Darth Sinovia, that hasn't been said? Well, I think it's important to talk about the Thugs in Blue because I don't live that far from Anaheim. I don't live that far from Anaheim, actually. And well, I think I should just I guess I'll just share the article. Let's go here. And for those of you who want to read the article, I'll give you a link in the yes. So for those of you who are watching it, whether you're watching it live or not, you get to read along. So yeah, let's just get to it. Now I read this before the stream started. Yeah, this totally does not look like something that you would see in a war zone, doesn't it? And this isn't that far from where I live. Yeah, close to 200 AK-15 semi-automatic rifles. It's like 200 flash bang grenades, thousands of pepper balls, 2 armored carriers, and hosts of drones. What the fuck? Those are some those are just some of the weaponry deemed by California officials as military equipment that the Anaheim Police, a department that has historically been criticized for excessive force. Yeah, for those of you who lived in Anaheim, yeah, this is not too far off the mark. Has in their arsenal is publicly disclosing to comply with state law. Yeah, well, the police don't fucking respect the law. They never have. No, they're not any different from the military. They're just another branch of it. Chairman Joe's does criticize the state's depiction of guns as military equipment, arguing that those were just tools of the trade for police. No, those are just no, yeah, exactly. But we have thugs with military grade weapons. Who's going to protect us from them? Who's going to protect the people from them? Of course, we all know the real reason why you have these people with military grade weapons. Like, I'll just go further in the article. For those of you, if you want to read it yourself, you can. It's like, member council Charles Leon said it made sense. Carlos Sion made sense for Anaheim have military grade equipment. Anaheim is unique in many ways. One of them is being that we're a target. We have to be prepared for anything, everything, especially Disneyland, the stadium. Oh, so they exist to protect private property. Wow. A story as old as capitalism itself. Oh, so that's why we have like people with military grade fucking weapons, because we can't have our precious private property in Anaheim, which makes us trillions of dollars a year, be threatened by troublemakers being the poor. It's like, Jesus. It's like, anyone that actually thinks the police are out to protect you are naive. You're delusional. You're completely delusional. The police aren't there to fucking help anyone. They also want to create a breaching program that uses explosives to break through doors, windows, or buildings for trained officers on the SWAT team. This is excessive. The discourse are required by a new law Gavin Newsom signed last set to requiring California Police Department to divulge all equipment they deem military grade and ask for permission from the respective city council at least 30 days in advance before they make any future purchases. Do we really expect the police, the arm of the bourgeoisie, to respect any laws? None of these laws exist to protect you, to protect me, to protect anyone except them. This is just bullshit. It's like, yeah, let's just keep reading. Yeah, some blah, 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 same bullshit. Let's see. In 2022, police department used their drones over 700 times and their armored vehicles close to 50 times, according to 2022 military annual equipment report. What the fuck? Okay, I got to read that again. 2022, the Anaheim Police equipment. Sorry. In 2022, the Anaheim Police Department used their drones over 700 times and their armored vehicles close to 50 times, according to 2022 military annual report. Do you really trust these thugs with your safety? I'd be concerned. I mean, my God. But then again, this is not shocking, but it's something you should know for those of you who live in Orange County, and for those of you who think that California, especially Orange County, isn't a fascist hellscape. Well, you're being disproven every day. Like, if you have freaking, especially where I live, people with military grade equipment, do you really, when things hit the fan, who do you think it's going to be used on? Think about it. I've been in Anaheim. I've been there. I've actually lived there. There's a lot of poor people in Anaheim. There's a lot of homeless people there as well. We're in for some scary times. There were 56 tactical response operations, of some of them involving the SWAT team last year, and there was no formal complaints regarding the use of military-grade equipment, according to this same report. I don't know. I have a difficult time believing any of this. Those who didn't complain, of course, are not going to complain because they protect the interests of the bourgeoisie. No, used for events. I see these fucking armored cars all the fucking time where I live. No, they don't just use it for events. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. Oh god, this is just bullshit. Let's just see what more stuff can we find. I'm not gonna stay too long here. Just let's see. Okay, this is Anaheim. I'm just looking for anything. All right, just any articles. I'm looking for something more recent though, something at least within this month. Rent control might be on the bailout for Santa Ana. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Cyprus, and I don't live in Cyprus, so I can't say. Fullerton, never lived there. Wait, oh. Actually, let's just. I don't know this area, but it's good. It's good that I actually bring it. All right. Working class residents are fighting for a trail on the south side of Fullerton, a part of town they say is in dire need of open space, one that has long been neglected by local politicians. Actually, I'm just going to give this link to those who are watching the video so they can read it alongside me. All right. Sorry if it seems boring. I'm just now. I don't want you just all just to listen to me read the article. I'm kind of nervous about reading out loud. So for those of you who want to read alongside me, you can. Okay, and 1.78 million in state giant great are was supposed to help those efforts, which they would included 176 new trees planted in the area. But a majority of Fullerton City Council members decided in August to ask a state agency again if they could repurpose the money because the trail proposal wasn't part of what they said is a comprehensive plan. Wait, what? Now, Elk County and residents balancing time with family and work are rolling up in their sleighs in an attempt to get a patch of green space in the city that is facing a state pressure zone for thousands of new homes as areas in town become park deserts. Holy shit. Wow. And I've never been to Fullerton in Orange County, but holy shit. We are fighting for our trail because that money belongs to our community. We are not going to let it go. Nancy said, Wednesday phone interview. She said residents are planning to show up to Orange County supervisors. Okay, this already happened. City official, see everything that we have in our city, we always have to fight for it. How is it that the state of California gives us 1 million and we have to fight for them to return it? That's insane. Yeah, well, that's capitalism for you. Major Feud Jang, who voted against the money for the trail in August, said on Thursday, and voted that the money is still in Fullerton, and they're willing to hear back from the state if they can repurpose the funds. This is wow. What they're asking for is not unreasonable. Along with the vote, of the grant, politicians decided to reopen Union Park, where the trail would begin, after it has been closed for years because of contaminated soil and crime. I'm just asking for folks to be logical in thought process, no emotional logic. Why would we not open the park and then do a trail? Jug said. We have great money for the side. Can we not allocate that and open the park and do something comprehensive for the neighborhood and do something incredible for it? The people are literally asking. My excuses. City Councilman Ahmed Sana worries that the decision made in August could mean that the money goes back to the state, and said that the city made a promise to residents to build a trail. The decision was very clear. If we don't find other projects to reappropriate the money, then we return the money. it seems like they don't want to do it because there's no profit to be made. He said, unlike the north part of town, northern towns in the south, where a lot of working families live, don't have trails and other open space. And okay, I can't even read that. I'm sorry. This is an area that is overpopulated, underdeveloped, where people are not thinking about green spaces. And instead, mental health issues are happening because our children don't have the opportunity to go and play and run and enjoy. It contends there's a need for open space in Fullerton South Side, and that's important for everyone in town to be able to enjoy both parks and trails. When you live in a park desert, basically, that's what the town amount to a aspect jungle or concrete jungle. Any kind of park trail is warranted. I just want it done in a cohesive manner. This sounds like excuses. Jesus, this seems racism to me because the people are asking for are not even white. The Union Pacific Trail, the project. I gotta research this actually. I didn't even hear about it until just now. The project Union Pacific Trail has been in years in the making, with the city applying it in 1999 for state grant funds to build a neighboring park, a parking lot, bikeway trail in Fullerton. It's also a lot bigger plan to connect several city parks with a trail. The city finished the first phase of the project, a half-a-mile trail and a bike lane from the transportation center in downtown Fullerton to Highway Avenue in 2006. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm boring you. Just okay. Sorry, I'm not skipping this around. Just looking through this would have required. Okay. Wow, this has been the so that oh fuck. The vote came despite vocal support from residents and public. 50%. Wow, over half the population is in favor, and they still won't do it. Wow. Just wow. I don't live in Fullerton, never been there, but fuck. Jesus, this looks like a desert in this picture. Is this just goes to show you they don't give a flying fuck for people who aren't white. When it comes to South Fullerton, suddenly maintaining a trail becomes an issue when we have open. Yeah, okay, let's see. I'm just reading through this. All right. This I don't know. I don't see anything unreasonable about these people's demands. I really don't. They want something for that's healthy for their kids to actually be able to play and walk through. And it just looks like a fucking desert. I don't understand. Yeah, Jesus. This this is fucked. This really is. Yeah, that's what they're asking for. It's literally fucked. Oh god. I really hope like this stream doesn't suffer technical issues because I cannot control it because this is the time that I usually don't have issues, but oh boy, when this connection stabilizes, that's when I'll start actually doing some videos. I know this is not as engaging as watching videos. I'm just going to do a few more because it's in my local area because I want to focus on that first. Let's see more. Actually, okay, North County. See, diploma. Sorry, I'm just looking through these articles. Orange. Okay, I've lived in Orange before, actually. That's actually where I lived prior to living in the place I live at now. So let's see. Anything in my former city that I lived at? Okay. Scan is. I might have to do this for a separate stream regarding like the. I gotta have to research that more. Let's see. Oh, I should talk about it at some point. And I already discussed this. Jesus. All right, let's just look. Let's see. Let's just navigate this website. I should look more. This can't be the only one for Orange County. This cannot be the only one. Let's say Central County, because I don't. Man, I haven't been to. Oh, close to Mesa. I know. Okay, I know the city. I actually go here a lot. I actually go here quite a lot. Let's see. I'm just looking. All right, just looking. I've barely been to Fountain Valley, but I know I'm familiar with there. See, not South County. Let's just nothing where I close to where I live. Sorry, this part of the stream is boring. It's just I figured since I'm already on this site that has literally stuff that's local, I might as well just stay here for at least a bit. Okay, no, let's see. All right, there's nothing. Wait, did I already? Come on, I already did. Did I do South County? Come on. Okay, this. Don't do this to me. Okay, this is taking too long. Okay, now finally, South County. Finally. God, my internet sucks. All right. I cannot comment on that actually. Regarding, oh God, hold on. First, I'm having trouble with my internet. So before I answer your question, I got to make sure my internet connection isn't fucking with me. Have you heard about Israel on shit? Okay. First, I gotta do this. Sorry if this is. Oh God, I'm having some issues with StreamYard. Thank God I don't have a video running right now because that I would be having issues. Have you heard about Israel almost giving money to Palestinian supporters, but they rejected it? That's great. What do you think? Honestly, anything that Israel gives you is just blood money. It really is. Though I'll discuss Israel in further detail later in the stream. But yeah, it's fucking blood money, literal blood money. Oh man, Cop City. That's something I will have to talk about in the future. That probably deserves its own stream because fuck. My God, will this thing load? To answer your question, Alex Star, yes, I was born in California. I've lived here for pretty much my entire life. There's only been all right, sorry. Now I'll repeat what I said again. Yes, I lived in California all my life and I lived here. I've only spent 3 years of my life outside of California. So I pretty much I'm a resident. I've lived here my entire life. So whenever I talk about California, I actually know California well. I'm not an expert on California, obviously, because there's just no way I can be. It's a fucking big state. But I do know the place I live at well, which I won't disclose because I'm not going to dox myself. Okay, that's all right. Of course, I do have to take this what I've read with a grain of salt. So, whatever you read, the OC voice of OC, just take it with a grain of salt. There's some good things there, and there's bullshit. Now, I'm going to focus, this is the last part, I'm going to focus on California. And this is regarding housing, which I alluded to earlier in the stream for those of you who were there. Oh, Florida or New York. I don't know how you thought that. Anyway. Yes. Actually, wait, there's a video? Maybe I could start with this.
An impact on housing.
Okay. Let's just... All right.
Now, law places a cap on rental security deposits and could have a significant impact on housing affordability. 17's Michaela Armstrong joins us now with that story. Michaela?
Tammy, California is the 12th state to pass a bill that limits security deposits for renters, and lawmakers behind the bill hope this will be a step in addressing the state's housing crisis.
That's right. California renters no longer will be asked for a security deposit larger than 1 month's rent. Assembly Bill 12 will go into effect July 1st, 2024.
Doesn't do me any good if I want to find a place.
It will stop landlords from charging 2 or 3 times the rent as a deposit. It is a broader effort to make...
They should be called slumlords, not landlords.
Housing more affordable. Shanti Singh was one of those tenants egregiously charged and says it almost took her into a financial hole.
I nearly emptied my bank account paying 3 months worth of security, like security deposit first month, last month. It was pretty much all I had. It was a huge chunk of change, like something on it was getting into the 5 figures.
Now Singh helps other tenants statewide, including in Kern County, defend and advance their rights with the organization Tenants Together. She says with the help of this new law, the state is moving towards getting more people into housing.
Particularly with our housing crisis in California being as bad as it is, it really doesn't make sense if a renter is capable of paying the rent on a lease, but because they don't have 3 months worth or however 2-3 months worth of rent saved up, that they can't access that housing.
However, there is opposition, according to a statement by the California Association of Realtors, which oppose the law.
Of course, the usual suspect, the same fuckers that oppose rent control oppose something that actually, of course, if it helps the proletariat, they're always going to oppose it.
AB 12 imposes a one-size-fits-all approach on a state with almost 40 million people and with housing units of different types and with different amenities, and states that the
bullshit. When there's more than enough houses for people, it's insanity to expect people with 3 times the amount of rent that people could afford freaking are. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's literal fucking bullshit. It's a little fucking bullshit. Oh, fuck you if you're disabled. Like if it weren't, those who are disabled, we fucking require government fucking housing just to get housed because of bullshit like this.
The bill denies small housing providers the flexibility needed to continue offering housing in the state, thereby exacerbating California's housing crisis.
Oh, bullshit. These fucking parasites. Like, here, I have a hint. Fuck off and get a real job.
But Singh disagrees.
The more complicated and the more carve-outs and complications that get put in these sort of protections, just like not just housing but other consumer protections as well, they become very confusing for both tenants and landlords to understand. Right? Landlords need to know that they're following the law. They need to know what the
landlords do not care about the fucking law.
Rules are, and tenants need to know what their obligations are. So actually, simplicity is really, really.
Landlords routinely violate the law. They take advantage of tenants not knowing their fucking rights. So no, landlords do not respect the law. I'm okay. Nothing against this woman, but she is naive if she thinks the landlords don't know the law. They fucking do. They have to. It would be not in their best interest if they didn't. No. I would not be shocked if this is taken to the Supreme Court.
Really important.
For more information about the bill or Tenants Together, go to our website.
Honestly, nobody. Okay. of course, here's the article itself, which has more information than the video, which for those of you who care, I'll just give you the link. As usual, I'm not going to have just you to take my word for it. I'll just give you the link. Shit. But seriously, it is. It's fucking hard. But I would not be shocked if this is challenged to the Supreme Court. I'm not saying this because to be negative. It's just a fact. There's a corporate friendly Supreme Court that will just shoot down any sort of laws that benefit the people. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's the fucking the mental gymnastics of slumlords. Oh my god, I can't exploit these people as badly anymore. So we have to raise the rent. Bullshit. It's greed, nothing more, nothing less. It's greed. It's something as old as time itself. Greed. It's not because these people are struggling. Let's be honest, most of these slumlords aren't fucking poor. They're not fucking poor. I'm sorry, but if you're able to own more than one house, one to live in and one to rent out, maybe two, you're not fucking poor. I'm sorry, you're not fucking poor. Yeah, true, but okay, so we got to go by realistic solutions at the current environment. We're nowhere near revolutionary times yet. We're getting there. We will get there. But until we do, we got to have something to help the people. We got to have something that literally helps the people. Hey, Logan, what's up? We got to have something that helps the people. And I think pushing for any form of relief for people who are trying to stay housed is a good thing. Though, don't expect these parasites not to challenge this and bring it to the Supreme Court, because I'm pretty sure you're going to hear a lot about these things being brought to the Supreme Court. Yeah, it does. It literally does. It's like, it's one of the most expensive countries to live. It's like, yeah, every time we have a little bit of progress regarding that helps the people, we just have backlash. It's like, it's like, it makes it difficult for me to actually pay my mortgage. You know what, you fucking leech? Maybe you should get a job, just like the rest of us. Yeah, I know. Like, these same slumlords will fucking evict you or fucking or do whatever dishonest thing in the book just for reporting something. There's a reason why most people don't actually report anything that is really wrong to their landlords, because landlords, despite them be supposed to fixing the place that they freaking own, they just kick the tenants out. Like, that they take full advantage of the fact that you don't really have any rights. You're like, they don't give a fuck about the lease either. You know, in fact, we shouldn't even have landlords. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're 2023 and we still have like things from like the feudal era. No, we don't fucking need landlords. Oh yeah, there was something I was talking about regarding in California. There's a law that was passed that's not going to take effect until July of 2024 that helps renters. So people in California won't have to pay like 3 times the amount of rent that they actually have. But I'm very skeptical if this law will actually ever see the light of day, and it won't just be brought to the Supreme Court. Simply because with this country it favors the ruling class over anybody else. And let's not kid ourselves and not think that they're not the ruling class. Hell, some of these landlords are freaking multi-billionaires who own like so many like housing and apartment buildings. They'll fight tooth and nail for something like this because it will like dig deep into their profits. Yeah. One time a homeless guy was sleeping in the laundry room when my clothes finished drying. Our president told us it's our problem. Wow. Oh, not our problem. It's like, wow. Yeah, Mao was right. Mao did not kill enough landlords. I mean, landlords are not good. Landlords are scum. Even if your nicest landlords, I'll just say this, they'll show their true colors to you when you can't pay rent or won't pay rent. It's like, and not to mention, isn't it any coincidence that in many works of literature, landlords are always portrayed as bad people? They're always the bad guys in stories. They're never the good guys unless you're in some dystopian nightmare world like Marvel. Yeah, they are worse than scum. I could rant about landlords all day, but there's other topics that have to be discussed, and I will not have time to discuss them if I focus on one like topic. And yeah, landlords don't fix anything. Landlords, we literally don't need them. We don't need landlords. There is no housing shortage. There's more houses than people in this country. So yeah, now, okay, so this is gonna be more LGBTQ centric. This part will be. For those of you who are part of this community, this will not be a shocker. But for those who aren't, I'm just gonna share this article to spread awareness because people should know. Now, this article came out in July of this year. So, yeah. I know. Oh, actually, no. This one's recent. Never mind. That was the other one I was referring to. So, like, yes, it's one of the sources is the FBI, but I'll take what I can get, honestly. Even though I hate the FBI, it's something that should be like discussed anyway, because yeah, there's been a rise of anti-LGBTQ hate crimes. That is true. It's been rising. Let's see. On Monday, the FBI released 2022 crime in the United States data on over 11 million criminal offenses reported to the Uniform Crime Report program, largely through the National Incident-Based Reporting and System reporting. The incident indicated 13.8% increase in reported crime based on sexual orientation and 32.9% increase in crime based on gender identity compared to 2021. Is anybody shocked considering the rhetoric we've been hearing for the past few years? And now, for those of you who want to read the article, I'm giving you the link. Again, I want everybody, those of you who are watching me, don't just like hear me talk about this article. Read it. Read this article for yourself. Like, because, just me talking about it is just not going to be enough. According to the report, incidents involving intimidation were the most reported bias-motivated offenses overall last year, followed by simple assault and vandalism. Those three types of crimes composed of 76.6% of all reported hate crimes, race, ethnicity, ancestry, religion, and secular are the top three bias categories and signal bias incidents last year. Within those categories, anti-Black, anti-Jewish, anti-gay male were the top bias types to be the volume of reported hate crimes. Fuck. Holy shit. Holy shit. Well, don't just like hear me read the article or look at the article or talk about it. You should read it for yourself as well. Human Rights Campaign (HR) President Kelly Robinson reported to the report Monday, calling the numbers both shocking and heartbreaking, yet sadly not unexpected. The constant stream of hostile rhetoric from fringe anti-equality figures alongside the ruthless pursuit of discriminatory bills, particularly targeting transgender individuals and state legislators, have created an environment where it will sadly foreseeably that individuals with violent tendencies might respond to this rhetoric, she said in a statement. In June, the HRC declared a state of emergency for LGBTQ people in the U.S. based on the increased anti-LGBTQ legislation and state access across the country this year. The FBI's data serve as another alarming indicator that the state of emergency community finds itself in. Robinson said, according to the FBI, the data in the 2022 report covers 93.5% of the U.S. population. Robinson noted that the numbers were incomplete. Too many cities and states are reporting incomplete data or no data at all on hate crimes against the LGBTQ plus community. Wow. So it could be even higher than what's stated in this article. Shit. Yeah. I'll have to cover that another day on Islamophobia. If we're going to bring a stop to that violence, we need a full accounting on just how many hate crimes are taking place that requires air justification. It's stepping up. One thing we could do is holding those who inspire these hate crimes accountable, but that's too much to ask. It's too nobody is gonna wants to basically say, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, and Matt Walsh have blood on their hands. That the people that died in these crimes, it's on them. But no, we can't. We're not going to actually propose any laws to make it a crime to incite violence against marginalized groups, because in capitalism, inciting violence against the powerless is not considered a crime. In 2020, the HRC published its blueprint for positive change, which outlined 85% policy recognition for those in an upcoming. Yeah, Biden doesn't give a fuck about. Okay, I'm sorry, but Biden doesn't give a fuck about the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, come on, these anti-LGBTQ plus legislation has been happening under Joe Biden. We've been seeing a rise of hate crimes under Joe Biden. Now, this would have happened even if Trump was reelected, but the very fact that are people still insisting that the Democrats are your friends, especially Joe Biden, the same Joe Biden that's happily supporting a genocide going on in Gaza? That's okay. I know this article was written by liberals. I understand that. I have to take what I can get, because whatever, we live in a society like America. So I'm not going to hold that completely against it. But seriously, do not count Joe Biden as any friend of these people. He's been against this community for his entire life. No, they're not. In fact, it's dangerous to be either party's friends, because you're just one day away from having a dagger shoved inside your back. Because that's just how these vultures look at these people. They look at every member of this community as disposable. They just see them as a tool. When they outlive their usefulness, they'll just cast them aside. Yeah, of course. Joe Biden will fund fucking Ukraine. He'll do anything, but he won't protect vulnerable people in America. He won't. What the fuck has he done for LGBTQ plus people? He has done nothing. He's done nothing for LGBTQ plus people. He's done nothing, not a damn thing. Violence against trans people is on the rise. Violence like against Muslims and Jews are on the rise. It's like he won't do a fucking thing. Yeah, he is. He makes George W. Bush look like a fucking saint. It's fucking disgusting. It really is disgusting. Now, the next article I'm just going to talk about is it is interesting in a sense. Well, I felt I neglected one of my duties, and I don't want to do this again. Is I live in California, and I didn't realize this is still on the same topic. These are the most dangerous places for the LGBTQ plus community. Like, what cities have states have the most anti-LGBTQ hate crimes? Some will shock you, some will not. California is not a shocker, honestly. If you live in California and you know, the state, yeah. And not to mention, it has one of the largest population of LGBTQ, LGBTQ plus people. I just been saying that wrong. LGBTQ, it's like the top. There is no number here, so I guess it's the first one to pop up. New York, not shocking either, because there's a huge population of LGBTQ plus people over there as well. Texas, I'm definitely not shocked, considering the legislation it did last year, and basically making people who flee because being fucking labeled as child abusers for giving a shit about your fucking kids. Florida, definitely not shocking. In fact, Florida, I would argue, it's basically Arizona with freaking beaches. I mean, the state literally has no issues fucking having flag waving neo-Nazis. I mean, you had the swastika being waved near Disney World, and no, that's not something I made up. You could literally find this. Let's say I gotta. Did you hear that the Daily Wire is making a cartoon for their kids' streaming service called Chip? Oh. The Daily Wire hasn't even able to come up with an original fucking idea in their sad and pathetic lies. Benny Boy, he's a failed fucking writer, a failed musician. He's just like every other fascist in history. Why is it that almost every well-known fascist in the history of humanity have always been failures when it came to art? Yeah, I just find that interesting. I'm going to be honest, I don't want Joe Biden and Trump to be in office. I don't want any politicians to be in office because, like George Carlin said, they don't care about you. I feel awful for them. Yeah. Yeah, but as unfortunate as it is, it's a lot safer being in California if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community than it is in anywhere else. Majority of the states is nowhere. It's not as safe as California. Yeah, and he wasn't even that good of an artist either. Oh wait! Oh my God! I'm gonna piss off the quartering if I say that he wasn't that good of an artist. He really wasn't. Instead of bourgeoisie politicians having all the power, we should have the working class take over the country and serve the country, just like the Soviet Union and Mao's China. Yeah, that should happen. Yeah, serve the people. That's what we should be doing. Now, Florida, yeah, as I said earlier, it's not a surprise. And Tennessee, I'm not shocked either. Fucking Christ. Oh, the 5th. Massachusetts, not surprise. What the holy shit. All right. Georgia. Fuck. Washington. Why am I not surprised? North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Illinois, and Ohio. Okay. Okay, I'm not shocked about any of these states personally. Jesus. Though I think Florida might take the cake of being the worst place to live if you're LGBTQ plus. I mean, fucking God. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, he wasn't very good. But don't tell the Nazis that. Go to a comment section on any video where you have someone talk about how Hitler was a terrible artist, and you'll fucking see so many Nazis like, oh yeah, of course, the blah the blah 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 X person is like, of course they're gonna say that. I actually don't know. I have to look that up. How Hawaii is on LGBTQ. Let's look it up right now because that shouldn't take very long. So give me a second, guys. If I'm going to serve the people, I might as well just answer a comrade's question because it's the right thing to do. All right, so let's just look it up. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not very good at spelling, so it's going to take a little bit of time. All right. All right. Okay. Hopefully, L B G Q T. Actually. All right. All right. I'm going to have to take a look at this article at a different time, but there's some. I'll give a link to those who are interested because regarding this article, it's going to take a long time to get through this. So for those of you who want to know about the LGBTQ, okay, I'm sorry, I've been fucking up. LGBTQ plus. I'm sorry, I fucked it up so many times. I didn't mean to. But here's an article. Here's like an article for those who are interested. But how safe is it for that community though? Is it friendly? Whoa, this is something I'm going to have to research further but like, actually, you know what? I'll just let my viewers see. Well, I want to serve the people, so here. So I'm just going to show you, like, yeah, there's something that's interesting. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender LGBTQ persons in the U.S. State of Hawaii enjoyed the same rights as non-LGBTQ. Some same-sex activity has been legal since 1973. Wow. Based Hawaii being one of the first states to actually. Wow, that's based. Really based. Let's see. Wow, the first state to legalize same-sex marriage in 1993. Wow, the rest of this fucking country was backwards. Wow. Wow. Of course, there's other things more complicated I have to research. like activity was legal in 1992. Marriage was, yeah. Okay, maybe I got some facts wrong. Okay, maybe I spoke a little too soon, but let's see. Okay, I misled you. It was the first state to consider legalizing same-sex marriage. It's like, wow. It was the first state to consider it. 20 years. Wow. Okay, I misspoke. Actually, I did misspoke on this. So criticism here, self-criticism. I jumped the gun too soon, but they considered it in 1993. That makes them based in my book. I'll have to research this on my own, but still, for those of you who wish to know, well, I gave you. You could look it up yourself. Yeah, seems like they were more progressive than most of the United States. Then again, yeah. Anyway, I got some things wrong, so do not. I repeat, if you do not forget what I said, I did get some facts wrong. Like I said, they considered it like in 1993, even though they didn't legalize it until like pretty much everywhere else. Pretty much, the very fact that they were the first state to do so, to consider it, just shows you just how much further ahead of the country that Hawaii was compared to everyone else. So I apologize for giving that fact wrong, because I'm not going to. If I make a mistake, I have to criticize it as soon as I recognize I made a mistake. Well, as Thrawn said in Heir to Empire, the difference between error and a mistake, an error becomes a mistake when you refuse to correct it. So if I had refused to correct my error, it would have been a mistake, and it's not a mistake because I corrected it. Yeah. You know what? Give Hawaii back to the Hawaiians. Give it back to the people who are indigenous to that land, and kick out every colonizer from Hawaii. Because you know what? Fuck those people. Seriously, fuck the colonizers in Hawaii. It's one of the things that made me fucking cringe at my job. Like, you have all these colonizers, like at Trader Joe's, who it happened a few times a year where you had these colonizers shop at Trader Joe's, my former place where I worked at, and they were from Hawaii, not the actual indigenous people there, though, but a bunch of fucking white Europeans. They're like, yeah, I live in Hawaii. It's like, yeah, you're freaking pro middle class. You're like fucking middle class. Like, go fuck yourself. Oh yeah, Palestine is something I'm going to do at the end of this stream, because I want to save like that for last, because yeah, there's other topics that I would like to discuss, because Palestine is something that's going to probably be a big thing for the rest of this stream. So before we get to Palestine, unfortunately, there's some more unpleasant things that we're going to be learning about, though this will take us some time to get through. So this is going to be about the American healthcare system, because you know what? The American healthcare system is fucked. It literally is fucked. I know, like, it's whatever. It's healthcare is something that does like concern like everybody who, like, because you know we've a lot of us, if not all of us, have had some family members who were fucked by the healthcare system. So yeah, we're gonna learn. Those of you who haven't seen the video yet, you're going to be learning some disgusting shit. So buckle up, because you're about to learn something.
I would say the most bizarre prior auth I had was for a wheelchair. My patient had just had both of his legs amputated.
This is Dr. Janaea Calderia.
I'm a family practice physician in San Diego.
And she's talking to producer Alec Opperman about how her patient's insurance denied her request for a wheelchair.
Yep, you heard that right. We haven't even gotten started, and it's like when I thought the healthcare system could be more cartoonishly evil, I hear about this: a fucking wheelchair by someone who's had their legs amputated. That is fucked. It's like, holy shit. That is fucked.
For a double amputee.
The reason was because I didn't specify how his walking would be affected by his disability. So I had to call and fight this and tell these people, my patient doesn't have legs.
Dr. Calderia is referring to something called prior authorization, an approval doctors like her need to get before insurers are willing to pay up for certain procedures like medications or a medical device like a wheelchair. Stories like this got us wondering, why are these obviously necessary procedures, medications, devices, etc., being denied? So we went searching for a reason. Is it run-of-the-mill evil? Is it fraud? And if so, who exactly is responsible? But what we actually found was a grift that, while totally legal, surprised us at every turn. I'm Andrew Rivera from More Perfect Union, and today we're uncovering the scam behind prior authorizations.
Oh boy. My mom was a victim of this bullshit. I mean, if it weren't for this prior authorization bullshit, my mother would still be alive. But then again, she wasn't properly diagnosed to begin with. Oh, I'm not going to go on a tangent right now about what happened with my mother with the healthcare system. Let's just get going. This is supposed to be educational for those of you who have not watched this.
A lot of our digging was inspired by the story of a woman named Kathleen Valentini.
She became our client in 2019 when her husband, Val, called me and said, I want to tell you a story.
That's Steve Cohen, the lawyer for the Valentini family. Kathleen was a retired teacher living in North Carolina when her hip started to hurt. After it didn't go away, her doctor ordered an MRI, but the prior authorization was denied.
The insurance company said the MRI was not medically necessary. The appeal of the denial of the MRI took 5 weeks, and Kathleen finally got the MRI. And when she did, it showed that she had a fast-growing sarcoma, a cancer, in her hip.
Kathleen saw an oncologist, but the 5-week delay meant that the cancer had spread. Instead of just needing chemo, she needed to have her entire leg amputated, all because of her delay in getting a prior authorization. As we looked into it, stories like Kathleen's seemed all too common.
Well, it's the American healthcare system. Oh.
The American Medical Association found that 80% of doctors report that patients have abandoned their treatment because of the prior authorization process. 19% say they've led to life-threatening events or required an intervention to prevent permanent impairment or damage. And that's exactly what happened to Kathleen.
And her husband could not believe that an insurance company had the power to overrule the doctor's recommendation.
Most shocking, however, is why the insurer said that the MRI was not medically necessary. In Kathleen's case, it meant that she hadn't done an essential step before getting an MRI. She never went to physical therapy, except she did.
The doctor said, guys, not only she finished the 6 weeks of physical therapy, you paid for it.
Insurance companies claim that prior authorizations save patients from unnecessary procedures and prevent fraud. They also claim
that
adhere
is
to
true.
medical guidelines set forth by professional organizations of doctors themselves. In cases like Kathleen Valentini, we wanted to know, are insurance companies just lying? And who's doing this? Like, who is the person who sits down and sees Kathleen Valentini's record and decides to just hit denied? So we talked to someone who might know.
I had teams ranging from 4 or 5 people all the way up to 20 plus reporting to me at different times. I was on the business operations end of our organization.
This is Max, not his real name or voice, who worked at a company whose whole business was prior authorizations. Oftentimes, insurance companies
Prior authorization. What kind of fuck shit is that?
can't
Seriously.
handle the sheer amount of
This might as
requests,
well just
so
be a
they
death
outsourced the
panel.
decisions to a company like Max's. It wasn't actually Kathleen's.
Remember the Republicans fear mongering about the universal health care or, God forbid, a public option being death panels? We have these with all the fucking time. This may not be really death panels, but seriously, it might as well, because these prior authorizations could be the difference between life and death. Then again, nothing shocks me about the American healthcare system at this point.
Insurer Emblem Health that denied her MRI. It was a company that Emblem
really
Health had
is disgusting.
outsourced their prior authorizations to. Max was quick to defend most of the nurses and doctors reviewing prior authorization requests. What he described instead was systems designed at all times
I agree
to look like
with
they
you
were simply
on that,
adhering
Stan.
to best practices. But that stripped employees of the ability to practice good judgment. Instead, companies like his used hostile design to push the kind of large-scale outcomes they wanted.
There's not a whole lot of room for subjectivity in some of these tools. And so, like, I can't check that box or I can't fill in an answer here. That might be enough
I'm
to
gonna have
fail that clinical algorithm.
I'm at the pause this. I'm going to have to research that in the future, because that is something that's worth talking about in a future stream. At least, maybe not as a whole topic, but in a section, because that's, I think it's not fucking out of the realm of possibility.
I want to ask, for Kathleen Valentini, do you have any guesses as to like why that might happen?
I mean, only speculating here, but they might not have entered all the information.
Yeah, I remember that.
appropriately, or it
Fucking
might not have been
bullshit.
explicitly called out in the place that they would have expected to find it in the clinical documentation, in the clinical notes.
To summarize,
Yeah.
if Kathleen's doctor didn't write that Kathleen had already done physical therapy in wherever some anonymous doctor was expecting to see the words, patient did 6 weeks of physical therapy, the insurance doctor, rushed for time, might have overlooked it. Had Kathleen's doctor placed that crucial component somewhere else and maybe circled it with some big arrows, or not had to do a prior authorization at all, Kathleen might not have lost her leg.
When you say like they're basically doing things that are just short of fraud, like what do you mean by that?
It's almost like selective design in terms of, do you want to word this question in a tricky way that maybe makes it a little bit more difficult to someone not paying close enough attention, and then likely leads to them not getting an easy approval.
But while Max consistently stressed how their decisions were supposedly rooted in best practices, story after story from doctors highlighted a system that was comically inept when it wasn't just outright horrifying. Dr. Calderia once ordered a mammogram for a patient with a carcinoma. The insurance initially rejected the prior authorization after a worker didn't understand basic medical terminology.
The person who is reviewing this case didn't know that carcinoma is also cancer.
In another case, Dr. Calderia looked into a doctor
Wow.
who kept rejecting her submissions. She had found he switched to insurance after receiving a multitude of complaints against him to the medical board. Others just seem not worth the effort. One doctor complained on social media about needing a prior authorization for a cheap blood pressure medication that only costs a few dollars a month.
I just got a prior authorization from United Healthcare for Lisinopril. I hope the whole board at United Healthcare gets diarrhea tonight.
Steve Cohen has one answer to make sense of all this.
Insurance companies have used a strategy for the last 20 years that's known as deny, delay, and defend. It comes from a McKinsey recommendation that said if you deny care, some of it will just go away.
Max had never heard of the term.
Interesting. It's almost as if people dying is actually saving these healthcare providers money. Food for thought.
Deny, delay, defend, but said it was an unspoken understanding in his line of work. They would never say, let's deny more requests, but would say, let's send more requests to review, knowing that the outcome was the same. And when that happened, patients might give up or end up switching insurers or end up in a new year with a new deductible to hit. But more shocking is that companies like Max's aren't just grifting patients. They're grifting the insurance companies themselves.
I had to go for multiple fucking dentists just to get something simple as a deep cleaning approved. You fucking heard that right. Something essential for the health of your teeth and your mouth. I had to go through fucking this kind of bullshit. All this fucking red tape. We don't have health insurance in America. You really don't. If you it doesn't really exist. They're very select of what they'll cover and what they'll like pay for. It's actually more profitable just to let you die or to let your problems get worse than to actually help you, even though it would probably save them money in the long run if they actually gave you treatment. Then again, this is America and its healthcare system. It's sick.
Themselves. Let's take the wheelchair example. If Dr. Calderia didn't properly document how having no legs impaired her patient's walking, she might resubmit with a nice little summation of how her patient could not, in fact, walk without legs.
We did 2 reviews in that case, the initial review and the subsequent review. And it doesn't matter that both were for the same patient because in our data, we'll have 2 requests. And when we're reporting value to our clients, most of the decks that I had seen were showing things like denial rates and then how those trended over time.
Those denial rates were simply calculated with the number of denials divided by the total number of decisions. In other words, those 2 separate requests for a wheelchair end up looking in a spreadsheet like a 50% denial rate. It doesn't matter that the patient got the wheelchair in the end, that one denial that delayed care by days or weeks helps crank up his company's denial rate. Multiply that by thousands of denials, which eventually get resubmitted, and Max's company can claim that they've saved the insurance company millions of dollars that they actually haven't. Meanwhile, patients like Kathleen are dying or becoming disabled. At Max's company, there was a balancing act between selling their cost savings to insurers and angering groups of providers who might leave the healthcare plan. At some points, they were told that they were denying too much by their clients.
We would make decisions on how much volume we send to be reviewed by our nurses and our doctors for given health plans based off of whether or not we've got upcoming contract renewals. The thing that's bothersome is that those are decisions that are made based purely off of money and business relationships as opposed to prescriptive patient outcomes.
Kathleen's family sued Emblem Health and Evacor. Among other things, Steve Cohen argued that they had committed fraud and medical malpractice, but they didn't get far.
During the very first conference with the judge said, "What happened to Kathleen Valentini is tragic, but there's no law in New York, none in the federal system, that holds an insurance company accountable."
I mean, to be honest, I can't even count the number of lawsuits that came through in the time that I was there. But I don't remember any of them wherein we were found
Of course, the judge would make such a ruling.
to be liable.
Kathleen was eventually killed by her aggressive cancer. Steve Cohen thinks her insurer shares the blame. There's currently an unprecedented amount of public pressure against prior authorizations. Patients, doctors, and lawmakers are outraged by stories like Kathleen Valentini's. In our own research, we learned of patients left with permanent incontinence because of delayed imaging, and others who go malnourished and need surgery after insurance delays leave their inflammatory bowel diseases untreated. One woman spoke to us and said her experience with prior authorizations through private insurance ruined her life as she battled a rare disease that left her bedridden. Over 30 states have introduced legislation trying to fix prior authorization.
Like that's going to happen.
Drawing from the American Medical Association's guidance, many of the bills required 24-hour response times for urgent care and 48 hours for non-urgent. The AMA also recommends making prior authorization information public, something that Vermont already does. There's also legislation that's been stalled in Congress. Many of these recommendations could save the lives of people like Kathleen Valentini, but they may not be enough. Max wonders if prior authorization is useful at all based on his experience in the industry.
It's just unnecessary. There's no direct line.
There should be no industry when it comes at all regarding healthcare. No, no.
Leads to any kind of evidence of improved health outcomes for the patients.
The excuse that insurance companies use for prior authorization is that there's rampant waste and fraud. That is simply not true. In a $1 trillion industry, the amount of fraud is a tiny, tiny percentage.
Steve Cohen has another idea: what insurers used to do and what Medicare still does: pay and chase. You pay for medical services and then go chase people down who've committed fraud.
It does not get between the doctor and her patient. It is approved, it is paid for, and then the worst offenders are audited.
In Steve's vision, doctors can make their own calls and bad ones will get punished. It's not perfect, but it's better than putting a company whose sole duty is to its shareholders in between you and your doctor.
I got a better idea. Socialize healthcare and eliminate the middleman altogether.
A company that, In the case of Kathleen Valentini, courts have ruled has no obligation to care for your health.
We have to. Yeah, we
Thank
do.
you so much for watching our video. If you have your own stories about
All right.
prior authorization or
Yeah, that. Yeah, it's fucked. It really is fucked. Is how cartoonishly evil do you have to be? I mean, Jesus. I mean, this is beyond fucked. Now, some of these videos you guys have shared to me, since we're shifting the focus to Palestine now, that we're in the last section of this stream, because whatever, it's something that is inevitably going to be discussed anyway, because it's relevant. Let's see. I think I should show one. I think one of these days I got to show that Abby Martin video when she interviews those Israelis, because I think it's very telling. Of course, that'll be a video for a different time, because that will be for too damn long. Yes, fuck yeah. Joe Biden is a fucking liar. Anybody that says that are people that don't actually have freaking. They can afford a doctor. Those who say that, those who can't afford a doctor, or are stuck with shitty fucking things like Medicare, like me, and Dentacal. Of course, I have Cal Optima. It's complicated. It's convoluted with these systems. It took me 3 fucking years to get a deep cleaning for my teeth. It's fucking. Yeah, something simple like a deep cleaning. I had to get approval. Oh, they'll gladly pull my teeth if something was to go wrong with them. But I had to go through multiple fucking channels just to fucking get a deep cleaning. And the fucking regional center, which has its own doctors, they weren't willing to fucking help me either. They wanted to use their own doctors as a last fucking resort. So yeah. I had to go through fucking many fucking channels just to get a fucking dentist that will accept my fucking insurance. And it's still bullshit. Oh, yes. Israel. I was a new atheist before, at least I held their ideology until I saw what was going on in Israel. Seeing how they treated Ethiopian Jews and how they casually talk about murdering like other human beings, like they're talking about the weather, just snap me out of this. It's like, what? I don't care if these people are religious. These are human beings that are being murdered, and that's what snapped me out of it. Because the thing about new atheism is new atheism in general, it just trades one form of reactionary thought with another. Like they just don't see people who are religious as human. And who are these people they mostly look at with contempt? Oh, Muslims, brown people. It's racism, plain and simple. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that at some point. Don't fucking give them fucking ideas. I'm going to have to get my wisdom teeth removed at some point in the future. But I'm reluctant to do that because they don't bother me at the moment. Though I'm recommended to remove them. It'd probably be the best time to remove them since I'm not working at the moment. Okay. Now, this video came out like a month ago. But I do feel like it's something that everybody should watch because the mentality of the average Israeli is very telling. Because this was shared to me. So for those of you who want me to react or talk about these videos, just continue to share them to me, and I'll save them on a list that I have right now. Now let's play this clip.
You're gonna go to jail because the police here, 99% conviction rate. Shut up.
We don't do anything illegal. You cannot take us to jail.
Look, can you look at this fucking guy? Just look at this fucking guy.
If you are not involved, please go. Shalom, my friend. We bless you.
Give him my country.
Okay.
You come to the United States, you can say whatever you want to say. That is a free world, yes?
You're not in the United States. You're in Israel.
I understand.
You cannot say whatever you want to say here.
I thought this was hey, isn't it funny how Zionist apologists say Israel is a democracy, yet this guy is basically acting like fucking, oh, I owe this place. You can't say what you want here.
Yes, you can.
This is hypocritical. This guy I wouldn't be surprised if this guy has a visa to the United States. He can go anywhere in the United States, says what his fucking bullshit, and no one will say anything to him. Yet the moment somebody goes to Israel, the supposed fucking democracy of the Middle East, this person thinks he's fucking a hot shot.
It's illegal. It is legal to preach about Yeshua. We preach at Damascus Gate. The police said it's okay. We preach.
I don't know the laws of Israel, but I wouldn't be surprised if freaking these people don't even respect their own laws.
At Jaffa Gate, the police say it's okay. Please stop.
Fucking thugs, like, just unbelievable. Fucking thugs. My God, these people are. It's like, Wiki. I don't know the full context of this clip. But what the fuck do you need all these fucking people that's like gathering around for or ganging up on this guy? What the hell is he doing that's actually wrong?
I respect you, respect me.
He doesn't have to respect you.
Huh?
He doesn't have to respect you.
That is the right thing. Are you Jewish? Do you want to honor God? That is the godly thing to do. We respect one another.
The godly thing to do is to kill you.
The godly thing is to kill.
Wait, the godly thing is to kill you. I'm sorry, but doesn't your religious text say "Thou shalt not kill"? This goes to show you just how little respect these Zionists have for their own religion, assuming that they're Jewish at all.
That's right. That's
Yes.
what the Torah says.
The Torah says to kill us.
The Torah says that people who worship idols such as yourself, when there is a Sanhedrin,
To kill us.
yes,
Okay.
that's what
No, the Torah also says "Thou shalt not kill."
the Torah
So
says.
we know how the Jewish people feel about Christians, yes? That you
Christians
discriminate
are-
against Christians.
Christians are idol
You
worshippers.
discriminate
The
against
Torah
Christians.
says that Christianity is idol worship.
Let me.
Okay, I wish I could get the full clip, but my God, fucking shit! Like this fucker, like, oh yeah, it's like fucking cowards. It's like, oh yes, I can do whatever I want. My religion says this. It's like these people have no fucking respect for their own religion. Okay, I'm not a Jew since I don't know enough about the Jewish religion, but I do recall, even in their own religious tech, in one of their like things that they say, "Thou shalt not kill." It just fucking wow. Where's the Christians in America? Where's their fucking support for people in Israel who are Christian that are actually getting oppressed by fuckers like that? They're nowhere to be found. And this is in Egypt. Oh, West Bank, actually. Never mind. West Bank. Fucking based. This is what brave really looks like.
يا اخوان قوات الاحتلال زتوا غاز هي الطياره زتوا غاز على ضوء ابو الرج
The only thing the Israeli state knows how to do is respond with violence. And people want to say the Palestinians are violent. And Hamas this, Hamas that. Israel doesn't know how to fucking live in peace. And of course, this was brought up earlier by one of my subscribers, and I nabbed this clip before the stream started. I'm pretty sure there's more. Yeah, he was right. Of course. Of course. Bernie Sanders is a fucking coward. As someone that was once a supporter of Bernie Sanders, yeah, fuck Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a fucking coward. Like, he has an opportunity, he's Jewish, to speak out against Benjamin Netanyahu, against the government, but he won't because he doesn't want to fucking, like, be on the bad side of the Democratic Party. I'm sorry. And anybody could say when it's freaking, when they're not in the basically being challenged to basically, or being put to the test to say, oh, I condemn what this guy's doing. He has an opportunity to condemn it, and he's not. So no, fuck Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a fucking sellout. Assuming he actually sold out at all. In my opinion, I just think Bernie Sanders is a fucking piece of fucking shit. He's just a shill for fucking imperialism. If anybody wants to know something interesting, Michael Parenti used to be friends with Bernie Sanders. What caused their falling out was his support of the bombing of Yugoslavia. Yes. That must have sucked. And this is the clip people talked about earlier.
Over Westminster Bridge, along the south side of the Thames, back over Waterloo Bridge, and then ultimately along Whitehall to Parliament. And it's a real mixed bag of people that are here. There are the people from the different campaign groups.
We have a responsibility to educate ourselves, to educate our children, to educate friends and colleagues, and encourage them to come and speak out. And I think it's important that we have so much representation from whether it's Palestinian families or other individuals around here.
This is a beautiful thing to see. This is the kind of thing that gives me hope. But we can't continue to... We have to keep up with the pressure. We can't just ignore this as soon as this fades away from the news
saving
cycle. We got
what's
to keep
left of the
talking about
population, whether it's
Palestine.
the children's in the hospitals. Hospitals are running without fuels. You have children's in incubators. Doctors are operating without anesthesia. I mean, it's a priority, 100%, let alone obviously the water and food crisis at the moment. I think it's important to also state, we're professionals. I think typically in people's mindset, there's a certain type of people that protest, but we're professionals, and I know a lot of professionals who have come here as well. This is an issue not just for a certain class of people or people in certain industries.
I say we don't need a tube drive.
This happened like today.
To get suspended, we can raise our own voices. So I say, free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3,
I gotta
4.
cover that.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8.
Israel is a terrorist state!
Free
Palestine!
This is what bravery looks like.
Palestine!
Free
Palestine!
Have a lovely day, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your voices.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but you have dipshits in the Ring of Fire, like Farron Cousin, that basically calls every supporter of Palestine fucking supporting terrorist. It's like just fucking clown, I swear to God. It's like majority of the fucking world supports the Palestinian people. to be against them is basically supporting genocide. It really is. Oh yeah, and some other and more. There's some more based, and there's more stuff that's based. Of course, I gotta zoom up. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying to zoom because I don't know how to. Because this. Let's see options. Okay, let's just put this on the. Let's put this on the list. Because there's even more base stuff that I found. Yeah, I am gonna I'm gonna share this. So just give me a second. Just give me a second, because just the very fact that there are people out here, not out here, but the people like Baron Cousin, who's like literally who's really on the wrong side of history. It's like anybody that actually supports fucking Israel, despite the overwhelming majority of the people being against fucking what's going on. It's like, I'm sorry, if you're on the side of injustice and you're not someone I fucking want to freaking listen to. And you know what? There is a video I'm going to end the stream on, because you know what? I think even though he's basically gone freaking reactionary over time, I think his stance on the Palestinians is valid. Not only just valid, it's something that he said many years ago, long before it became popular to be on the side of the Palestinian resistance. For those of you who are like wondering, you know who I'm talking about. But I'm just looking for the clip because, well, I want the raw clip, but anyway, it's just, you know who I'm talking about. Because, it's something that I think every one of us has to freaking watch or listen to, regardless if you agree with him now. I personally think it's important to listen to people like that. Oh God. I don't know if I will, okay, I don't know if I want to listen to any celebrity. All right. Okay, I got Falkenstein. Okay, I got that clip. Sorry, I'm just preparing myself. All right. Now I'm just going to I'm just going to get started. Man, I'm not going to lie, this is better than my last stream. I will say that much, because I was more prepared. All right. Yeah, fuck Ben Shapiro. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate Ben Shapiro. He's a joke. And these people will be remembered basically in the same way that Nazi supporters are, like the Hitler Youth. And yeah, some more stuff regarding Palestine. Fucking bass. Amazing, just fucking beautiful. I just want to cry, and because it's just how beautiful that is. That takes bravery. So yeah, are these people terrorists according to people like Farron Cousin? How millions of people who are protesting against this fucking fascist state, are they terrorists? Fucking stupid.
When you're
Okay, now for the last clip, I know that I know he's had some he has problematic takes these days and a borderline reactionary, but I think these words in this clip are powerful and they apply today. And regardless, he was saying things long before it was popular to show support for the Palestinian people. Mind you, this man is the son of Holocaust survivors. Now, I'm going to let my internet connection stabilize first before I play this clip, because I don't want it suddenly to kick me off the stream in the middle. So when I watched this for the first time, I was blown away. This was almost a decade ago where I watched this clip. And I think anybody that does what they do is brave, because in a lot of places around the world, it's illegal to show solidarity to the Palestinian people. And doing that, despite that, does show that the people care about justice. Those who are afraid to show solidarity to the oppressed because of some law passed by the oppressor does not support justice. You don't, because laws can be unjust. There's laws that support injustice, and if you support injustice because it's lawful to support injustice, then you're not for justice. I'm for justice, not the law. Yeah. Yeah, I am too. Now, I'm going to show this clip. I'm not going to commentate on this clip not much, because I think it's important for this man to speak for himself.
sitting in the audience and somebody goes on for an hour and a half saying things that you find utterly loathsome, repulsive, and also you think factually incorrect. And I think people should have more than 60 seconds. As I said, I'll leave it to the patience of the audience. When you feel it's going on too long, you know how to express your disapproval. Otherwise, they should be allowed to go on. Go ahead.
Hi. During your speech, you made a lot of references to Jewish people as well as certain people in your audience, not Jewish people in general, but certain people, especially in your audience, to Nazis. Now, that is extremely offensive when certain people are German. And they're also extremely offensive to people who've actually suffered under Nazi rule.
I don't respect that anymore. I really don't. I don't like and I don't respect the crocodile tears the crocodile tears. No. I'm sorry, folks. Allow me to finish and allow me to finish. Listen, sir. Allow me to finish. Sir.
Can you believe the nerve of these fucking people? They won't even wow.
I don't like to play before an audience the Holocaust card. But since now I feel compelled to. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother, please shut up. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family On my father's
See
side,
that fucking that woman's expression as he's talking about his family, their pain and suffering. Zionists don't give a fuck.
on my father's side,
The Jews did not take arms against the
my late
Germans.
father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians, not for what's been done. What?
Can I just calm the audience?
I've never been in a crowd like this. They're nuts. I think it's pretty audacious when people try to play the Holocaust card with me. I think that's pretty nervy.
What percent of the audience was opposed to me? About a quarter or a fifth? A quarter.
The girl in the dark t-shirt who was yelling about the anti-Semitism throughout the thing, she began to yell, well, they're probably turning over in their graves right now.
Sorry, my parents were alive throughout most of my struggle, and they totally supported me. That one won't work.
I never saw this.
It's not like I did About Face in 1995 when my parents passed away. I've been doing this since 1982. They heard every word. I never heard an objection.
Wow. Now now there are some problematic things that he says these days, but everything he said to that Zionist student is 100% fact. Anyone that denies that, no. Actually, there is one more clip, and I think it has to do with what's going on in Palestine. Even though it's much older, I still think it's relevant because I don't know if any people you should hear Kami Toure, like his. I'm just going to show you this clip on his debate with a Zionist. Like this was even earlier than that clip I showed you, though it's just audio, not really a clip. So I'm just going to show you this one. This will be the last clip I'm showing. So everybody should hear this.
As big and bad as the
Afro-Marxist, subscribe to this channel, by the way. Don't ignore this channel. Don't sleep on it.
FBI is. I think as big as bad they are with all this thing, they would pick him up overnight. And Rap Brown, bad who they know they couldn't pick up.
Mr. Carmichael, my first comment is a historical correction. The blacks did not build the pyramids, the Jews did.
The Jews?
That's
I'm
number
sorry.
one.
I beg your pardon?
The blacks did not build the pyramids, the Jews did. That's comment number one.
Okay.
That's right, Jewish labor under
We
Egyptian
understand.
slave masters.
Continue.
My second comment.
Wouldn't have built them without slavery either. Continue,
My second
please.
comment.
We let him state it. You want to help him? Come. You can help him.
All right, comment number two.
Let your brother continue.
Comment number two. if you believe that the Zionists control and exploit the people in this country, then you're an anti-Semite, even though you deny it in your book. Stokely Speaks.
Okay.
They were pulling this bullshit even back then, the Zionists. The more things change, the more they stay the same regarding these fascists.
Let's take your
Comment number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's too bad that you align yourself against the national liberation movement of the Jewish people, Zionism. Because by doing that, you align the black people against the Jewish people. They each have national liberation movements, and to align them against each other just is calling for future conflict between them.
Okay, let's go to number 1. You say the Jews built the pyramids.
That's right.
Does Africa belong to the Jews or to the Africans?
I'm sorry?
Does Africa belong to the Jews or to the Africans?
To Africa.
Thank you. Next question.
They built the pyramids, though.
Yeah.
Hey,
don't grab it.
There's no need to discuss that. Africa is my house.
Yeah, it's just
So whatever is built in my house is mine, isn't it?
Fine, but it's built by Jews. Talking about
But
the
look here.
pyramids.
Honestly, those who are MAGA who don't support Israel, though most of them do support Israel, they're just anti-Semites. Majority of those people, like it's because, like I'll have to explain this probably later, but there's different forms of anti-Semitism. Like, yeah, even if they are anti-Zionist, they're anti-Zionist from an anti-Semitic like lens. I mean, B Level is a good example of. Of course, you could find this on my channel. It's one of my earlier streams I did when I actually like started Fantifa again, where B Level actually talks about freaking Zionism from an anti-Semitic lens. So no, MAGA, even if they're anti-Zionist, it's usually because they're going for it from an anti-Semitic lens. So I have to like just make sure that to correct you on that, because they're not like they're anti-Israel from an anti-Semitic way. It's like Caleb Maupin. You probably never heard of him. Don't fucking look him up. He's cringe. He's not someone you should ever listen to. He's anti-Israel from an anti-Semitic lens. You could be. I know it's complicated the way I'm explaining it, but to make it short, yes, you could be anti-Israel and anti-Zionist and be an anti-Semite. It is how, like, you oppose Israel. What's your reasoning? If you oppose Israel because you oppose colonialism, or you're Jewish and you oppose Israel because it's like against your religion, that's not anti-Semitic. But if you're against Israel simply because like they're Jewish, which they're not, but again, anti-Semites don't differentiate between a Zionist and a Jew. Like I'm talking about in Israel. Yeah, he is a joke, but I had to make that clear in order to do a correction. Now I didn't know this for the longest time, really, until I actually spoke to a Jewish person in depth about it. So it's understandable. Like if you want to know more, I would go to the Bundes channel, which it's a lot of there's a lot of videos or Panther like Code's video, not Panther Code. I'll have to give the links to the videos. I'll do it as soon as this is over. So you'll learn more information than I can give you about Zionism, because Jews are actually know far more about Zionism than I can ever tell you, because they've been fighting against it since the very start of the creation of the Zionist state.
Even if the Jews built it, who gave them the plan since they were slave laborers?
Give them the plans?
Yeah, who gave them
Nobody
the
gave them any
plans?
plans. Somebody told them to do it with whips.
Right, somebody told them how to do it with.
The
So,
Egyptians, the people
I wasn't
you
talking
want to
about the
support
slave
against the
labor.
Israelis.
I was talking about the mighty planning of the pyramids. Did the Africans do that?
Well, then the owner of the factory made the shirts, not the workers, right?
Yeah, understood that. Understood.
Hold on.
Continue.
Okay,
You should come to the microphone. You're very, but you're impolite. Oh, come on. Yet you're being impolite. That's a Zionist tactic. Come to the microphone. Let's discuss it. Come. No, I'll carry it.
My second comment was referring to your statements
All
about
right.
Zionists exploiting people in this country.
Correct.
In
I
your-
said the
in your book,
Zionists.
Stokely Speaks. You say that the Zionism must be eradicated wherever it's found in the Middle East or in the ghettos of the United States.
Correct.
That's typical Hitlerian propaganda.
Typical what kind?
Hitlerian, Hitler, Adolf
Oh.
Hitler, a
Oh,
German,
hey, I ain't
a
afraid
Nazi.
of that. Yeah, I understand. Look here.
That's German
I
propaganda.
understand. Let me tell you a tactic of Zionism. What they do is that every time you say something, they bring out Hitler. You understand? And they make you feel scared about Hitler. Okay, if Hitler killed as many Jews as he did, then what the Jews should do is take Germany. Why you go to Palestine? The Arabs ain't did nothing to you. Number one, go to
Because
Germany.
Germany,
Hey,
Germany,
Guy, hey, this
because
coming.
Germany is not our
fucking
Uh,
homeland,
fabulous.
Israel is.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Egypt is mine. It's Africa. Is that correct?
That's right.
Why does Israel want to attack
Israel
Africa?
does not want Egypt.
Israel doesn't want Egypt.
No, it does not.
What does it want?
Israel wants Israel.
Where is
Israel
Israel?
wants-
What year was Israel recreated? How did you get it? How? Who
Talk-
gave it to you? Lord Balfour in London in 1916? Was it his?
The modern state of Israel was created by the United Nations.
Aha. He's right. He is absolutely correct. He is absolutely correct. And that shows you what an illegal, immoral, unjust state is. Today, it won't even listen to the rules of the United Nations, which tells it to withdraw
Alex
from the
Starr, here's a
1967
link
orders.
to the
That's very interesting,
Boone
Mr.
Disclosure
Carmichael.
channel.
On one
Come
hand,
on,
on
let's
one-
not put it.
United
let's not-
Nations is a
You'll
learn
bunch
a
of
lot more
bullshit,
about what I'm talking
and you
about
know it.
Hey,
from
hey,
that channel
on one
than,
Hey,
hand,
than
you
me
say that-
explaining it
wait,
here.
hold it. No, please. For respect of me, I don't curse publicly. I didn't go through that period. I left it where it belongs.
I said it, he didn't. The
Oh,
same roots
Yes.
and the same rights that
Right.
blacks have to Africa are the same rights that Jews have to Israel.
Oh,
Because they've been living in exile does not mean we've relinquished the right.
Brother,
We
you got-
still cherish it in our hearts.
I understand that. I understand.
So
I'm saying,
don't go off calling us aggressors because we have a right to that land just as
Right.
blacks have a right to
I
Africa.
understand. I'm saying that Africa belongs to us. You say it belongs to you too. So
No, I don't.
Two spaces.
I say Africa is yours, but Israel is ours.
No.
There's a difference.
No.
Yes, there is.
Israel belongs
Here's
to
another-
Palestinians.
For someone who believes in humanity, you certainly haven't shown it to me here.
I do believe in humanity.
Only black humanity.
I believe, but that's humanity.
What
Hey.
about Jewish?
Hey. Hey.
No, if you're gonna go that way, Stokely, then
Okay,
it's
here's
yellow
another
humanity.
channel. I'm just
Hey,
giving
come on.
those of you who have yet to check out these channels.
Are blacks the only people in the world?
No, we're not the only people
And
in the
Panther
world.
Power, last and not least.
Are
They're
Jews
Has
a
a lot of
people?
stuff too.
Huh?
Are
that's
Jews
very
a people?
They
educational.
call themselves a people, yes.
They are a people.
Well, you wait in line. I've been waiting here.
All right.
I've been waiting
I
in
know,
line,
but
man.
let me say this. Let me say something.
So for those of you who have not found those channels yet,
Wait a minute. Hold
just
it now.
check them out.
Wasn't it in June the 12th, 1948?
Oh yeah, it definitely
Made the
is.
exodus from Europe. Was that it? That's when
And,
the United Nations gave it to
yeah.
them. But Israel was signed to them in 1917 by Lord Balfour of the British government.
Okay.
The Arabs had the land, and he signed a piece of paper and gave it to them.
Okay. Now, what is the definition of Jewish?
Well, I said Zionist. That's them.
Because the reason I'm trying to figure out now, Israel is in the Middle East, right? Or Jerusalem?
That's what they created it, yeah.
Okay. And the people that exodus there, they came from Europe.
I hear you.
Were they
I hear you.
Germans and Polacks
Yes.
and things like that?
Yes.
They also
Yeah.
came from Yemen, Morocco,
I hear
Iraq,
you.
Egypt, Jordan.
People gonna think I'm saying this shit. No, I'm saying. I hear you. I hear you. Okay. I'm sorry. Wait. Please, let me just finish this last question on the question of anti-Semitic. Now, when he says I'm anti-Semitic, I'm supposed to jump back and say, hey, no, I'm not that. But in the first place, his definition is incorrect. As I understand it, the Arabs are also a Semite people, and I support the just claims of the Palestinian people to their land. Thus, I am pro-Semitic. I'm pro-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic has never meant anti-Arab. It's always meant anti-Jewish. And
You
know
make
it.
it mean that, but you should have heard my speech in 1968. I said the power to define
You're
will be
anti-Jewish,
our
Mr.
right,
Carmichael.
that's self-determination.
You are anti-Jewish. You're an anti-Semite.
Hey, I'm anti-Zionist. I'll tell you what I am.
Anti-Zionist is that?
I'm anti-Zionist. I'll tell you what I am.
Speaking for 10 minutes.
Hey, Stokely, let's talk about something else
hold
now.
Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the videos. Like, yeah, stereotypical fucking Zionist. There's a bunch of other good stuff you can find on Afro Marxist channel. There's a lot of clips from various Black revolutionaries, speeches, lectures. If you want to hear about socialism from a Black perspective, that is where you should like watch it. I mean, yeah, it has clips from various speeches and lectures, but it's the easiest and most accessible way of actually finding all these clips. So yeah, I know I talked about Palestine, but then again, we got to stay on target because we got to keep people informed about Palestine. We got to keep making people aware of what's going on. A genocide is being broadcast, and for the future, I will not be so clumsy and accidentally have a video scheduled earlier than I intended. I'm learning this as I come along, so yeah. I don't consider myself like a journalist in any way. I'm just bringing stories for the people to actually like read or to like be exposed to, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I'm basically learning this as you are. Everybody here who's watching this stream can do what I'm doing. I'm not anybody special. You can do the same thing if you have the ability to, you can do it too. So do not think for a second that you cannot do this. I believe every one of you can do this if you want to, if you have the drive and you have the ambition. Yeah, I understand some of you have stage fright. I had that myself before I started doing podcasts on a regular basis. If that's one thing that I greatly benefited from in my Star Wars days, was the experience of podcasting. Anyway, if I continue this, the topic is just gonna go way beyond what I originally intended. Anyway, I hope this stream was informative. I know it's not as exciting or as engaging as my other streams are. Next stream, assuming something doesn't come up, will be The Force Awakens. I guess you could consider it a Halloween special. Spooky. Nah, just fucking kidding. But then again, The Force Awakens sucks. For those of you who are just looking forward to me ranting and raving for your entertainment about that shitty movie for the next like 2 hours or maybe 3, look forward to it. Anyway, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And stay safe, everyone.